Hello again, Dan Alasso here, and this weekend I am going to be putting on a full court press. I rarely use sports metaphors, but this one crept in. Into trying to get the first 4 chapters of my U.S. History 1 course kind of webified in Obsidian Publish so that I can invite readers to start taking a look at it. So really, stay tuned for that later this weekend. And as I'm doing that, a big part of what's left for me to do is to make the supporting pages for the things that I want to link to, either on the lecture pages or on the primary source pages, where I give a little explanation of the source before the actual passage. I've decided that the sources themselves aren't going to have links in them, just the explanations. And if something is important enough, I will make sure to explain it so that I can link to it. In any case, what I originally did when I was copying the first couple of lectures into this format a few days ago was just to go through those lectures when I pasted them in and to create an empty node linking to things that I thought that I would want to point out to readers as something they might want to understand. On this particular sample page from the first chapter or lecture, I am setting the scene for American history by talking mostly about European history that preceded it. And I do think that it's useful for readers to know a little bit more about these things and that they might be interested in clicking some of the links and learning more about some of these topics. But these are not really central ideas that are necessary to include in a course or in a text about American history. And I'm not really that interested in writing a page for each one of these references, or even in copying a page from another text that I might have already written, like world history, for example. So as I'm going through these pages this morning, I'm making choices regarding what I should write a supporting page about to provide the necessary background, and where I should simply add a link to an outside source. In the case of this second page, which is from slightly earlier in that same lecture, I'm creating internal links to pages I write for all of these topics because I think they're central to American history and because there will be numerous references to these topics throughout the history. So the number of times that I'm going to link to something, I think, is an important measure of its need to be included as an internal page. Now, for external links, almost all the time I'm going to link to Wikipedia. Although it has become more controversial over the past couple of years, especially in the ways that it's dealt with politically charged current issues, I still have a pretty high level of confidence in Wikipedia's coverage of many of the less contentious elements of our public knowledge. Everything is contentious to somebody, and I've personally been involved in editing Wikipedia pages, so I am aware of how that process works. But I do think that it is still a useful way to provide valuable information to people for free, so I'm using it. And now one last note on a kind of semi-related topic. You'll notice that I am posting this on my Making History Substack page in a new section called Lifelong Learners. And what that means is that I am collapsing what had been 2 distinct Substack pages into one. And I've gone back and forth on this, and I apologize to anybody who might be frustrated with that. Partly this has to do with my own evolving kind of media plan, and partly this has to do with Substack's evolution. But at this point, given the other things that I'm going to be trying to accomplish in 2025, I think this makes sense. So I'll be in touch with my Lifelong Learners subscribers directly, to whatever degree that they're a different group from the people who are seeing this right now, and I'll shift those subscriptions to Making History. And as I said, hopefully by the end of this weekend, I'll be publishing and rolling out something that covers the first 4 chapters of this U.S. History 1 course, which I've already done with my college students this semester. And then I will continue adding the rest of that course kind of in real time as I'm teaching it. So I hope you'll find that a little bit interesting. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you again soon.